Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Project Reckless, the thing that will be continuing on from where Slinks left off. And I'm going to jump right into this. I'm going to start with a little segment that I'm starting now called Real Talk, and it's where I just talk about stuff, and you ideally listen, or you don't. It's up to you, really. Today, though, I wanted to talk about YouTube because this sort of thing is going to be about me talking about how I feel about things in the real world and how I feel about life in general. So, yeah, it's going to be real talk. So, it's going to be talking about YouTube and how I'm feeling towards YouTube and the platform in general, and how I used to feel and my plans for the future. YouTube's weird because I've watched YouTube from as young an age as I can remember. Of course, I haven't always watched it because it wasn't created when I was born. It wasn't even created, but from pretty much my earliest childhood memories, I can remember watching some stuff on. I don't know what I was watching on YouTube, but I remember the platform itself existed because I remember asking to go on YouTube when I got home. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what I was watching all the way up to when I was about 11 or 12, and I'd watch the Syndicate Project and his Minecraft project, and up until about now, where I don't even know what I watch on YouTube, to be honest with you at this point. Probably mostly just podcasts, and that's probably it, really. I can't think of any channel in particular that jumps out that I really watch. So yeah, that's pretty much my evolution for the YouTube curve. But I want to talk about me as a creator and what my goals used to be and what they are now and how I'm feeling about the platform now. And it's weird because from the ages of 12 to I would say about late 14, so when I was nearly going to turn 15. I always wanted to be a YouTuber. That was my kind of plan as to what I wanted for a career for some reason. And then from, I'd say, between the ages of 15 and 16, so a year ago, around about, I'd say this ended, is that I still wanted it, but just not as much. And now, I think it'd be fun to have a game. If you told me that I could have a gaming Let's Play channel, I would say, sure, that sounds fun. But the idea of being a YouTuber now is pretty unappealing, to be honest, to me. I like the things that I like when it comes to YouTube is pretty much editing, and that's pretty much it. I like editing, and I like doing tags and stuff because I like trying to screw around with the algorithm because I find it cool because it's essentially a giant algorithm. And I would like to try and manipulate that. Well, not manipulate, that sounds that sounds malicious, there's malicious intent behind it. It's more just for fun. I want to try and screw around with the algorithm and see if I can get some stuff to work and I can get other stuff not to work, so apologies, but I am rather ill at the moment. But I used to like making videos in the sense that I used to like just talking. I still like talking to a microphone, don't get me wrong, but I don't like talking to a microphone in relation to games or anything like that. It's weird. It's like I'm maturing as a person to the point where I don't really want to make gameplay videos beyond Let's Plays. And for those of you who know, I also run a channel called Adrenaline Tech, and recently, and when I say recently, I literally mean I'm recording this on Monday, and on Friday the week before, so 3 days ago, I built a PC again, and I didn't. For those of you who know, like I said, I run a channel called Adrenaline Tech, and you would presume he's running a technology channel. Surely he'll make a build guide, and I was just so unenthusiastic to make a build guide or whatever that I just built the PC without recording any of it. I didn't record a split second of it. I recorded a CPU unboxing when I got the CPU 3 weeks ago. But again, that's not on YouTube because I haven't edited it or done anything with it yet because I can't be bothered. I just have no inspiration for YouTube. It's just not what I'm looking for as far as a, in air quotes, career is concerned. It's just not what I want to spend my time dedicating towards. I would rather develop myself in other areas, and when I mean other areas, I literally mean pretty much anywhere else I'd rather spend my time, which I know sounds awful. I know it sounds like I'm saying YouTube's a waste of time. I'm not saying that. I will probably come back to YouTube at some point in the future. I'm always going to make gameplay videos on and off and stuff like that because I think it's fun. But as far as trying to make anything from it other than just an archive of just stuff that, nobody's going to watch it, but and I'm not even going to watch it. I don't go back and watch my old videos. But the fact that it's there and the fact that it's presented in such a manner, I find satisfying because I feel like I've done something. Like I said, I mean, I am doing something. It's not, there's no point behind it, isn't it? It's not, there's no purpose to me doing it, but at the same time, I feel like I've done something which allows me to justify spending the time doing it, even though there's no payoff. Like, if I had to, like, guess, I've probably earned about $40 off YouTube off the entire time I've done it, from a variety of different channels. The main money probably came off a channel called Adrenaline Killed, because that was, I wouldn't call it successful, but I'd say that it got enough views to make about $20 or $30 in its entire lifespan, even though most of the videos now are private or deleted. And the videos and the views they did get were mainly because I was ripping off other people's content, which is another story of when I was a slightly younger and I was a bit of a terrible person, really. That's some stuff that I regret, but I've made probably about $40 off YouTube in total across 5 years of uploading, and I must have spent, I don't even want to guess, like maybe 40 days making content. Yeah, like that sounds like a good ballpark, around about 1,000 hours. Let's just run the numbers on that. So if I'd made about $40 and I spent about 1,000 hours making content, I am earning on average $0.04 per hour. That is not a wise time investment, and that is my entire justification for saying that I'm not ever doing this for money. I do it because I find it fun, but at the same time, I feel like I should look at other avenues which I find entertaining and fun. Like, I'm just doing other stuff, really. So this could be the first episode of Real Talk. This could be the last. I also don't know how long this is going to be, because I'm probably just going to keep talking. I don't expect anyone to listen to this. It's more just, if anything, it's more just like an audio diary to some degree, to the point of where I can just come back and listen to this in a few years and just be like, you idiot, what are you talking about? But I'm very undecided on what I want to do in the future, as far as YouTube's concerned. If I want to try and make some videos over the summer, because I mean I'm in the middle of exam season right now. It's currently, I think, May 29th as I make this. Yeah, it is, because House of Cards season 5 comes out tomorrow. Whoop whoop! I'm gonna watch that all in one day, so it only takes 1 day of my holiday, so I can spend the rest of it revising. But I'm very undecided as to what I want from YouTube, as to whether I want to keep making videos, like make 1 or 2 a week over the summer, or if I want to just cut it off entirely and just try and look at doing other stuff. Like I said, I'll always make some videos, but like, I mean, I'm talking about any kind of schedule or any sort of goals. Like, is there any point in setting any? Because I haven't stuck to any of them so far, just purely because I'm just not very inspired to make the videos. So I don't really see the point in setting them. I just don't know. I'm guessing I'll probably make a fair few of them because I don't have anything to do, but at the same time, I'm tempted to just force myself to learn to program in a bunch of languages, or just doing something productive, because certain avenues that I want to head down in the future would really benefit from me learning to program around about now. Just do some courses and stuff over the summer, try and get a certificate or 2 that I can put on my CV, just crap like that, really. Maybe try and like fire up a small business or 2. When I say small business, you're probably imagining something a lot greater than it is. I'm talking about like selling services, making like web pages, crap like that. Maybe I could try and do some of that over the summer if I learn HTML well enough to be able to make some stuff. You know, just stuff like that. Just like offering services. And it would make me infinitely more money than YouTube has. Like, if I was to go on Fiverr and just sell like personalized portfolios, I would have to spend like, I don't know, like 1,000 hours or like 100 hours on someone's portfolio, and I would still be making more money than I did off YouTube. I'd be making about $0.05 an hour in comparison to 0.04, but of course I wouldn't, because instead what you would probably do is you'd end up making about 10 or 15 templates that would be like, they would fit like 95% of the clientele, at which point you just spend like an hour or 2 editing it, and you're earning about $2.50 an hour. Still not a great salary. I earn more working at the pub that I currently work at than I do from that, but it would just be something fun to do that, and also again it's something to write on the CV. Not that I'm intending on actually, you know, I say CV and everybody thinks that I'm doing this because I'm like, oh, I really want to pump it out. I don't, in my dream world, I would be self-employed. Doing what? I don't know. Some kind of freelance, probably, because I'm so indecisive as to what I want to spend my time doing that I would need some sort of platform to work on. But I'm just talking at this point, I can tell. But yeah, no. So it's just trying to decide what I want to do in the future and what I want to do with YouTube. Do I want to continue it? Do I want to end it? Is it even worth continuing if I really look at it? Am I really developing any marketable skills? I don't think I am. I don't think anything marketable is being developed off of YouTube. Feels like it's just a waste of time, really, to be honest. What do I do? Like, can I be like, look at this in future employer? I can make thumbnails. Like, it's not like I'm doing anything. It's more impressive than just watching a show, like just watching TV or something. But at the same time, how much more impressive, because you're gaining as much. You're personally developing, but as far as your like employment prospects are concerned, it's effectively the same as watching TV, unless you're going to get a job as an editor or something. That'd probably be my dream job, being an editor. But let's face it, what's the likelihood of that happening? Yeah, this is just a weird thing. I've never really done anything like this before, to be honest, where I just talk. But I am now, so hey, there's one item off the bucket list. I don't even know what I'm going to put in the background, to be honest. I'll probably just put some kind of like still frame, like, then maybe this will be some kind of podcast, like the Real Talk podcast, where I just come on here and just complain for half an hour every week. I like talking. I enjoy it. It's nonsensical and it's not linked together in any sort of pathway. It's just thoughts bouncing out my head, so it's probably quite hard to keep track of. Maybe I'd get better at it if I kept doing it over a prolonged period of time, but that's probably not going to happen because, like I said, I'm not a very dedicated person to anything that I try and do, so there's no point in me pretending that I'll be dedicated to this, and I'm not going to. I think that'd be a good goal, really, over summer, to develop the ability to really dedicate myself to stuff, because I just don't have that ability at all. Like, my willpower lasts about 25 minutes, maybe, before I'm just like, yeah, no, this is just boring, I'm just going to go and do something else. Like, I need to do something. This is getting really depressing real quick, where I'm just like, I don't know what to do with my life, la 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 la. It's just making ridiculously complex decisions at the age of 16, which isn't very fun. It's like the only way that I can present it is it's like I'm at the age of 16 and I'm being asked, what do you want to do until you die? Because I don't know, maybe I'll want to retire in the future. In fact, I probably will want to retire in the future, but at the same time, at the moment, retirement seems like a horrible thing to me. It seems like you're literally just saying, okay, so you're at the age of 70 or whatever, so you're no longer useful. Just go and lie at home until you die. That's what retirement seems like to me. Of course, other people have different interpretations. That's totally valid. Mine's probably not very valid, but at the same time, it's essentially all it is if I boil it down, really. So asking me at the age of 16 to be like, right, so with advancing like medicine, you'll probably live until you're around about 80, like mid-80s, somewhere like that. So at the age of 16, what do you want to do? You'll finish university around about the age of 22. What do you want to do from the age of 22 up until the age of 85, for example? Go on. Fire. What do you want to do? And it's just like, I don't know. I'm like, that's not even, I can't even comprehend that amount of time. That period of time is just incomprehensible. I don't even know if I'll be like the same person. I don't know if I'll like the same stuff. I don't know if I'll like anything. Like, I don't know. I'll be in a completely different situation. If you just double my age now, you get me to 32. I'll be in a completely different situation. I hope, at least. I'll be in a completely different situation at the age of 32. Yeah, I'm still not even halfway to my expiration date. Jesus Christ, that's dark. But not even halfway towards, like, the estimated sort of death date. And yeah, I'll be in a completely different situation. So asking me to make a decision that will impact the rest of my life at an age where I can't even comprehend what the rest of my life's going to be like, or how long the rest of my life's going to be, or what positions I'm going to be in. I don't know what the real world's like. I've never really experienced the real world. Like am I missing out on like these huge things that like everyone else is experiencing? Because it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I get that I sound like so edgy right now, like I'm about to start a revolution or something. I don't know. And it just sounds really preachy, and I'm sorry for that. But at the same time, hopefully you can kind of see where I'm coming from. That it's just kind of difficult for me to be like, yeah, this is what I'm going to dedicate my life to, even though I haven't really been alive long enough for me to understand what life even is, or what the meaning of my life is even going to be. Thanks for giving me so much power in so many areas that I don't want power in, but not giving me any in others. Like, you can't drink until you're 18. You can't legally drink alcohol until you're 18 in public, but by that time you better have made the decisions that will lead you to your deathbed, because if you haven't, you are ruined, my friend. God, it's just, I just don't know. I don't know anymore. I just given up, really, mentally. Just what do you do? What do you do? There's so many jobs out in the world, and they only tell you about a small fraction of the jobs in the world, and all the cool ones are hard to attain. So what do you do? You're only alive once, at least in my opinion. You're only alive once. You might as well try and attain something worthwhile, but how? That's the real question. Like, if I wanted to be a YouTuber, I guarantee you, if I was to upload a YouTube video to Adrenaline Tech every single day, that was, say, like, the same quality as my setup tour, so not insanely high quality, not even that great a quality, but, like, mediocre, to the point that I guarantee if I was to upload a mediocre video on the level of my setup tour on the Adrenaline Tech channel, when it first came out, every single day for the next year, my sub count would maybe double to 200. And if we continued with that trend, I imagine it would do the same every year, which means that after like 5 years of God knows how many hours of work, I might actually reach 1,000 subs. But that's just not like a thing that one can do. So yeah, I don't know. Do I want to keep talking? What could I talk about now to make the world even more depressing? I should call this like in fact, never mind like the real talk. I should call this like the Depressing World podcast. Yeah. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna call it the Depressing World podcast. Where I just complain to you. Wouldn't that be great if I ended up like getting a podcasting career where my entire career is just to complain? That'd be like right up my avenue. Be insane. God, what the? There's just too much that I need to do and too little time to do any of it in. I need to try and find some good sites to do some courses on, because everything costs money, but like FutureLearn, like, is FutureLearn even really credited? I'm not convinced that FutureLearn is credited. I can do programs. You got to complete all the courses, you got to buy their certificates so that they make money, and you got to pass a final assessment. What if you fail the final assessment? What do you do then? Is it just like, oh, well done, you've ruined it? Do you have to buy the certificates to also pass as well? That's ridiculous. But like, if I was to just go on this, and I was to, I know that this again, really narrowing down my audience, talking about FutureLearn, but it's a place where you do online courses. So say if I was to do the, if I was to look at the programs, and I was to do the Big Data Analytics program from Queensland University of Technology. So I do, how many programs are there? Courses, there's 4 courses. So if I was to do all 4 courses, what am I even talking about at this point? I've actually completely forgotten what I was talking about. That's a tad embarrassing. Crap. Oh, I don't even know. That's awful. Jesus Christ. Come on, Brian. I'm sure it was some interesting point that you'll be able to pick up on, but I won't, so yeah. I think that'll actually probably wrap up this first episode of what I'm now calling the Depressing World podcast. I sound so glum, it's such a fitting title. I'll see you in the next one, if there is a next one. I'm presuming that there'll be a next one. In fact, no, I'm not, because I'm me and I know that I won't stick to a schedule. I'll see you in the next one that will probably come out in about 2 months, knowing my current scheduling ability. Thanks for watching or listening. There's no watching. You were just looking at an image if you were watching. And goodbye.